This is the Jeskidding podcast, and this week's topic is movies we love. What movies do we love? Let's discuss. Are movies going to die? Are they going to grow into other things? Do you still like movies? And what's your favorite? All that shit here on the Jeskidding podcast, which is, if you don't know, a thing where I sometimes say inappropriate shit, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I was just kidding. And then other times I say things that are thoughtful, and you're like, just kidding. Boom. All right, we're available on iTunes, Spotify, all that other bullshit, and we're streamed live in front of an audience on Twitch who interacts with us when they fucking feel like it. I'm very cursy today. And I'm here with Erica. Hi, Erica. How are you?
Hi, Jess.
Nice to see you, meet you in your face, brain, voice. And I'm also here with Austin, formerly known as Redneck Rebel from Kentucky. How are you, Austin?
We're still known as Redneck Rebel. But,
you're still known? I like that you're a we now. You're like the id and the super ego. It's Austin and Redneck Rebel. We exist in the same brain. It's amazing.
That's right. It's kind of like Hulk Hogan and Terry Bollea. We got to have like two separate people.
Yeah, one he does racial slurs while your kid is in prison or somebody's in prison, and the other one is actually very well renowned and loved. Right?
Legend.
Which one?
Legend. Hulk Hogan. Anyway, so the topic is movies we love, and I have a bunch of genres. We're all going to pitch in. I want to hear what you guys like, you know? So let's just go. We're going to come back to this topic a lot of times, but we'll start off with, I don't know. Erica, what's your favorite movie, Erica?
Ooh.
Tough question, right?
I have a lot of movies I like.
Okay. Give me one. Let's start with one of yours.
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. Okay, you came right out of the gate with something world-renowned and incredible and very known. What do you love about it?
Pretty much everything. It's one of the few films where the bad guys win. The opening Hoth battle, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Luke kind of disobeying and being hard-headed, and he pays the price. Like it's a movie with consequences.
So is it a movie you can watch like over and over and over?
Not over and over and over again, because I think if it's something, at least to me, I don't want to ruin what makes it special, so I kind of space out when I watch it. But it's something I will definitely at least watch once a year.
So it's in the vault. It's in like your favorites of all time. Anytime somebody mentions it, you're like, oh, that's so good.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I feel the same way. Do you remember when you first saw it?
Oh man. Well, for me, like I was too young to see it in this theater. I don't even know if I was born yet, if it was out in the theaters, or it was like
80,
came out in 80, 81?
81? Yeah, you might have been 0.
Yeah, I was a few months old probably when it came out. So I didn't see it in the theaters, but it was like one of the movies I would watch when I was a kid if I stayed home sick from school.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't like, oh my God, Star Wars.
Is that what you did when you got excited? You burr.
Exactly.
Yeah. What's your favorite type of clothing? Burberry.
It's BB.
Okay, fair enough. So I saw that in the theater because I'm older than you, and I remember the experience of seeing it, which is pretty astounding because I was like, I don't know, fucking 7. I loved it. It's one of my favorites. And I remember standing in line. It was like a long-ass line. I'm pretty sure we bought tickets the night before. And I'm pretty sure my friend Eddie, this was the movie that my mother took us to go see. And he was 12 or 13, and you had to pay more money if you were 12. So my mother goes up to and he looked like he was fucking 7. My mother goes up to the cashier, and she's like, oh, 1 adult and 2 children. Right? And she's like, well, how old are the children? And she's like, oh, they're 11. And my friend goes, no, I'm 12. And we paid full price for that little fuck. So to this day, yeah, The Empire Strikes Back, but Eddie didn't pay us back, little prick. So then we stood online, and I remember going to the fucking movie, and I remember being in the theater, and I don't remember the whole thing in the theater, but I remember kind of where we sat towards the back, and I remember Luke came out on his fucking taunt. I'm gonna get teared up, right? Luke came out on his taunt. Don't ask me about the new movies that the Star Wars is, because I'll tear up for the wrong reasons. But like Luke came out on the fucking tauntaun, and he took off his thing, and people went in the theater, and it was like their friend they hadn't seen in 20 years came to visit. It was amazing. It was an amazing movie, but it's not a standalone film. So I kind of think I agree with you. It's one of the better films experiences, but it's also one that I kind of have to do the caveat that I don't think it could exist without Star Wars. What do you think?
Oh no, you had to set up the story. You had to.
Mm-mm.
You had to.
Mm-mm.
And of course, you have the ultimate reveal towards the end of the film because they set up this whole thing with
Spoiler
Vader.
Spoiler alert for those that haven't seen The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, if the movie's 37 years old, if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, R2-D2 is Luke's dad. Just telling you right now. Yep. He used this little and he shocked his way into somebody.
What the?
That's why Luke has force powers. Facts. Hashtag. Austin.
So.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Please.
No, it's let Austin. Let Austin.
What did you see Empire Strikes Back? Did you like it?
I have never seen a single Star Wars movie in
Jesus
my life.
fucking Christ. You know what? I have Austin on the podcast a lot, right? He's an honored guest here. So I'm like, Austin, let's do the podcast this week about movies, right? And then before the podcast, I asked him, I'm like, hey, Austin, what are your favorite movies? He's like, I don't really go to the movies.
That's not a lie.
It's like 10 minutes before the fucking podcast starts. And I'm like, well, what do you mean you don't go to the movies? He's like, I didn't even see the latest Avengers, right? And I don't really, anytime a movie came out, I just wait for it on DVD. I'm like, you do realize that's a movie on DVD, right? So what DVDs do you own, Austin?
I'm saying that I don't usually go to the theater, just never want to.
They never
it
went
has
on
to
a
be
date.
something that I really want to see bad.
Did you take a date to the movie ever?
I mean, I have before, during my lifetime, yeah. But that was for different reasons then.
Fair enough. So what's a movie you really want to see? Like, can you remember a movie that you were like, oh, I got to go see that?
The Warcraft movie.
Oh my god! He's a Warcraft movie fanboy. This is fucking amazing. I don't think anybody on any podcast has ever said the movie I couldn't wait to see was the Warcraft movie. I feel like an asshole for laughing at you, but come on, bro.
You don't care?
No, I really don't give a shit. That's pretty funny. Did you enjoy it?
I mean, I've been playing World of Warcraft since 2005.
Right.
So when they made the movie, like, I knew the story and the lore behind the things that were happening, so I wanted to see it because of that.
Did you bring Vaseline like it was a porno?
What the fuck?
I think it's frowned upon to jack off in a movie theater,
especially to orcs. People don't like, they don't like orc porn. Not popular. Well, maybe.
Orcs must die, or
yeah.
Must die?
They call it pork porn.
or did you have an orgasm?
Yeah, an orgasm. Amazing. OC Diva, ladies and gentlemen. Not officially a comedian by day, but should be one by night. Amazing. All right, let's go to the chat room real quickly. Somebody before said they love the movie Snatch. I think, by the way, listen, there's no absolutes in this conversation. We're just having a fucking conversation today. There's no absolutes best movie. We're just talking about movies. That's what we're going to do. Maybe we'll do it in the fucking future. I don't know. But Snatch is a great film. And I didn't think of it when you're like, what's one of your favorite films? But Snatch is fantastic. I think that Snatch is one of those movies that anytime it's on, I'll watch it. Anytime. And it doesn't even matter which part of it. You know what I'm saying? I'll just watch it. But I won't, think about watching it. I won't be like, oh, I got to go watch Snatch. I haven't seen it in a while. Take out the DVD. It has to kind of just be on. I think there's a category of movies for that. Austin, have you ever seen Snatch?
I have no idea what that is.
It's.
I'm not even joking.
Oh
I really have no clue.
Oh my god, you're just gonna be cannon fodder for this entire conversation. We're gonna make a movie about the guy's never been to the fucking movies. Erica,
I've seen a handful of action movies and
give me one.
A lot of comedy.
Okay, tell me a comedy that you think is awesome.
Anchorman.
Okay, he has a movie he likes, and it's actually pretty fun. Anchorman, really fun movie. Great satirical humor, all over the top sexism. What else is there not to like?
It's great.
What do you say, Erica? What?
I'm Ron Burgundy?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You are Ron Burgundy in this conversation. No, I think that's great. So you like that Will Ferrell type of humor?
Yeah, and he's got his cologne, man, the Sex Panther.
So you love it.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's fair. So we have somebody in the chat room, Dav, saying, call me up next time. He's a film snob. Well, film snob, let us know what you like. I'm going to give you some snobby picks within all this, too. I'm going to get to mine in a second. But so Erica's given her first official pick. At some point in Austin's brain, some fucking childhood memory of and then that time my dad took me to see Friday the 13th, and I was so scared, and he held me.
Oh my god!
And
I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I will not watch a scary. If there's any movies that have parts, I call them jump out parts. I am not watching that. Let me tell you something. My dad and now I'm passionate about this now. I'll tell you
Please,
something
tell
my dad
me.
used to do to me, pissing me off. He would like, I'd be watching a movie with my dad, and you know how it gets to those parts like where you know something's gonna happen, like it's playing that music, that person's standing around the corner. My dad would turn around, look at me, and go, "Ah!" And he'd slap his hands on the couch, and he'd scare the hell out of me.
You're traumatized. You're traumatized.
Yeah,
you're totally.
He used to do that to me all the time.
Yeah, so
and
that's.
I said, I ain't doing this.
So
no
is that
more.
why you won't go to the movies? Because your dad scared you?
No, I won't watch scary movies. I don't care what it is.
What about Scary Movie? The movie, Scary Movie.
Oh, I have seen that.
Did you
that
like it?
was a little different. It was like comedy. Like,
was it good though? You seem
I'm
to like
talking like
comedies.
the legitimate scary movies that are like really, really like troubling. Like, how could someone come up with this?
Yeah, like
kind of
something
thing?
I might make. 'Cause I'm a sick person. I'm a filmmaker, by
they-
the way. Austin, did you know that about me? That I make films?
Yeah.
Go get. Have you seen any of my movies? All right, next question. I don't want to hear the answer to that. I'm totally disgusted by you right now. So, OCD, somebody in the chat room said, and no, I'm by disgusted, we love you, said Unforgiven is one of their favorite movies. I happen to know that OC Diva is a huge Unforgiven fan. Do tell.
I am.
What,
I really am.
What do you love about Unforgiven?
Well, Clint Eastwood is amazing, and I think it was the first film he directed. I think.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I like about the film the most is, it kind of has parallels with Heat.
Great
but,
movie. Great fucking movie.
Yes.
Heat, amazing. Yeah.
But oh my god, I almost called it Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, well,
Unforgiven.
Well, you did work for Rockstar, and they were heavily influenced, obviously, by Unforgiven. So that's why you would think that. Yeah.
But the thing I found interesting about it is that William Money's character, when he was younger, was angry and killed for no good reason. Nothing. And he had really nothing to show for it. And he was trying to take care of his 2 kids. And, because he was legendary for the awful things he did, some wannabe gangster kid comes looking for him.
Please. For the sake of time, don't summarize the movie. Tell me what you liked about it.
I'm getting to the point.
Sorry. Forgive me.
I'm getting to the point. But the thing I liked about it is peace. Is his character just trying to live a normal life, but he can never get away from his past because this kid comes and finds him. But the thing about it that I liked was, even though he was still killing, he killed for a noble reason because there was no justice in this town for this prostitute that got cut up, and everybody suffers around him except for Clint Eastwood, like everybody. And then he takes the money and goes to San Francisco. But I always just found it fascinating. But I like that it's kind of a simple story and it's beautifully shot and the actors are incredible in it. And it's just all around a good movie.
What's interesting about the movie, looking back at it, I love it too. I don't think I love it in the same way that you do, but I really respect that film. It's a fucking great film. But what's interesting about that, if you think about it, it's like a really strong argument for gun rights. The whole film. That's from a plot perspective. Because it's Clint Eastwood. Somebody gets wronged, right? And the law is corrupt and won't do anything about it. And the law representing those who don't believe in actionable rights, and they ban guns. And Clint Eastwood comes into town and gets in trouble because he's there to do the right thing because he has a gun. And only in the end, when they're able to get their guns back, are they able to exact revenge and kill the people that are, don't allow them to do the right thing by carrying firearms. It's very interesting when you think about it. But it's really a film. You're right. It's a film about people, really. But that's in there. And and it makes an actual decent argument, which is very fascinating. Anyway, okay. So going to the chat room, somebody said tied for the worst film is Sausage Party. Sausage Party I thought was funny, but
what kind of movie is that?
I don't know what he tied with it, but he said Sausage Party, so I just want to talk about Sausage Party. I thought it was funny, but I can't remember a goddamn thing in it. So that means it's not that good. If I can't remember it, I'm like, it couldn't have been that fucking good. Maybe I was just like, whatever I was doing that night that I thought it was funnier than it was. I made the gesture of, but it wasn't me. I don't think it was great. It's not a great film. So what do you think, Erica? Sausage Party?
It's one of those movies you watch it once and you don't ever need to see it again.
Yeah. I'm
like,
good.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah. You shocked me a few times with humor that I didn't expect. I'm good.
Yeah.
Did you see that, Austin?
I'm honestly, I've never seen it, but I'm afraid to Google that.
No, you should totally Google Sausage Party, and then you should put in, what do you call it, young girls after, and see what comes up.
Oh, my God.
Are we already moving to pornographic films?
No. I'm just telling you to do a very particular Google search right now. So anyway, okay, so but there are movies like that you see that fool you for a second, depending on the mood you're in. Maybe you needed that mood. So I'm gonna list a few, and we can go through a bunch of things. What movie has the most rewatch value? I'm gonna go. What's the highest rewatch value? And these are movies that are not necessarily good by the eyes of filmmaking, right? And I'm not talking action. I'm talking more comedy. Like I need to laugh. So 2 movies that are not considered great by any standard that I've seen literally hundreds of times each. 2 movies. And they're not great films. I fully admit that. There's not going to be any fucking book that's like, this movie's great. 2 movies are Half-Baked. Seen it a million fucking times. It never gets old to me. I know every single line. I know the shit that they utter. I know the whispers. You know, I fed the horse. I know the fucking movie back to back. I want to talk to Samson. I love that movie. Second movie, and we'll go into what you guys think of that. I'm sure I'm going to ask Austin. He's going to say, never seen it. Austin, have you ever seen that?
Half-Baked?
Yes.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm so shocked right now. What a stunning revelation this was on my stream. Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, Austin has not seen yet another movie. This is like you're like the fucking Bubble Boy of movies. So, getting
Bubble Boy? I've actually seen that movie.
I haven't. That's actual reference to a kid who lived in a fucking bubble. I haven't seen that movie.
I vaguely remember that. That's pretty old, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty old too. So anyway, second movie on my list, and then I want to hear what Erica thinks of Half-Baked in the chat room, this and that, is Office Space. I've seen Office Space like a fucking million times. It just never gets old to me. Sure, it falls apart structurally in a few places. The end just takes kind of a dive. But the setup is so fucking amazing for a comedy, and it's so goddamn relatable. I think Office Space has some of the most rewatchable parts in the entire comedic film universe. I'm going to make that statement. I made it out loud. I don't give a shit what people think. It's so good. It's so good. Not gonna go there anymore. Whatever he said. What do you think, Erica? Do you like those movies that I listed? Co-sign that?
Yeah. Half-Baked is great. It's not like the best made movie, but it's just a good, funny stoner movie.
Oh, it's great.
You ever looked at back of a $20 bill?
On weed. Yes. No.
And,
I'm not saying that on stream. Why would I say that?
And you don't necessarily need to be a pothead to laugh at it, because long before I partook, I thought it was a fucking hilarious movie. I was like, this movie is so stupid in a good way. And what was the other one you mentioned?
Office Space. Office Space.
Oh, Office Space is classic, because again, it's relatable as relatable can get, because everybody has had a job they fucking hate.
So I have a quick story to go with Half-Baked, by the way. Me and my friend Matt, I'm not gonna give his last name. I should, but I won't. Used to hang out, and what we did, well, we hated our lives in LA because we went to USC together, and it was fucking awful, terrible experience. We got out of USC, nobody gave a shit. We're like, hey, we're talented filmmakers, and we were like, crickets. It's terrible. So what we did was we just hang out all the time. He was a great guy, and I bought a TV. We called it the Super Tube. It was like $2,500 on my credit card, because it's the dumbest shit I ever bought. Weighed 175 pounds. It was one of the first high-def TVs ever made. God. And every Friday night, we'd watch Half-Baked. But we had a routine. We had a ritual. And funny enough, in that movie, there's a guy who lives on the couch in Half-Baked. And I, at the time, had somebody living on my couch that I was letting stay there for free because I liked the dude a lot, and he had nowhere to go. I'm like, yeah, stay with me for a year. Why the fuck not? And he was this funny sort of like hip guy. And he was sleeping in the living room, which is connected to the kitchen. Now, our routine for watching Half-Baked every Friday night was to go out. We had like a whole thing, right? It kind of sounds a little gay, and I'm okay with that. Meaning not like gay bad, but gay actually in gay. Right? So we would go out, and we'd go to the store, and we'd buy vanilla ice cream, root beer, and we had these giant mugs, and we'd make root beer floats, and we'd watch Half-Baked. And that was our thing. We had a thing, me and my friend, who was my dude friend. Anyway, we're in the kitchen one day, and my friend's sleeping, right, on the couch, which is attached to the kitchen, and we're like, something's happening, and there's bubbles, and we started laughing, and we started to bug out and be like, don't blow my bubbles, right? And my friend wakes up in the middle of this, very questionable conversation, and he's like, what the hell is going on? Kind of like Ghostbusters, the shirt. He's like, don't blow my bubbles, right? He's like, and he goes, you guys, can you tell me? You can tell me, are you homosexuals? And that's how we'd say it, homosexuals. I'm like, no, bro, we just like blowing bubbles on each other and watching Half-Baked. And there's nothing wrong with it if we were, but yeah. So to this day, whenever my friend visits from Chicago where he lives, we get together, we have that beer, we go back here. He'll crash over here. He's in his fucking 40s, and we'll have root beer floats and watch Half Baked. Anyway, moving on to the chat room. Somebody said comedy, Grandma's Boy. I have a whole Grandma's Boy. Great comedy. Great comedy for comedy, but it's in that same genre in my brain of like Half Baked, Office Space, Grandma's Boy. I'd even say you might even be able to get a little bit of Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Just Friends. There's these movies. They're not great. But there's something in them that taps into an audience that's really cool. Like, I mean, like, that's a very unique perspective. I mean, what do you think, Erica? You like those movies?
Oh, yeah. It's the same thing. Some relatable stuff. Like my favorite line from Just Friends is like, Dusty Dinkelman, he skis in his jeans.
Oh yeah, it's the best. That movie's the great.
Wasn't Kevin Nash in Grandma's Boy?
Dude, you saw Grandma's Boy?
But because Kevin Nash is a wrestler.
If a wrestler's in the movie, I probably know about it.
So wait, you love wrestling. This is obvious to the audience here. It's very specific, right? How many movies starring what's his fuck? You Can't See Me, whatever that fucking guy's name, John Cena. Fun fact.
All the Marine movies, yeah. I don't watch those.
You haven't seen any John Cena films, huh?
No. So like I've seen one of my favorite movies is probably one that not a lot of people have seen. I don't know. I don't really think it was that big.
I'm excited. Tell me.
It was called The Condemned. Stone Cold Steve Austin was like the star of that movie.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. How about The Rock? Do you go see The Rock movies? Because you're apparently a fan of...
I saw his first movie, The Scorpion King.
You did? I'm interested. What'd you think of that? Was it a good movie to you?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much like knew he was going to be huge in Hollywood. I mean, he's a stud.
But yet you knew he was going to be huge, but you never went to see his other movies to support him?
I have seen some of his other movies, but not all of them.
Do tell. So anything wrestling related, that's your thing.
I like, and people make fun of me for this all the time, but I love wrestling. Like, it's probably my favorite thing in the world, to be honest.
Besides the Jeskidding podcast, obviously.
Yes.
Thank you for that very forced answer. Okay, let's go to the chat room. Right. Blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. Dop is referring to Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Really fun movie. Emperor's New Groove, over and over. Danny can watch, and El Dorado. Great movies. What do you think of? Let's talk about the Pixar films. What does anybody think of the fucking Pixar film? I love them. I think that I can't say that Pixar can do no wrong because I think that they've done wrong. I'm not talking legally, the guy who ran it. I'm talking about in their films every once in a while. But I think that they hit so many fucking home runs. I think Pixar's sense of story is probably maybe top 2 or 3 movie sensibilities in Hollywood. Maybe up there with the Marvel movies. And what's another sort of genre that hits home runs constantly? Why am I visibly jerking off to something? I don't know. Sorry, it was on camera. You couldn't see it. For those listening. Forgive me. Pixar lost their souls, says Dav. What do you mean, Dav? What do you mean Pixar lost their souls? Do tell. Give us your point of view. I want to hear why Pixar's lost their soul. I think that Pixar's still making good movies, but I'm not really interested in seeing Toy Story 4 because I saw those toys, go on a journey to get back to somebody 3 times already. Why am I going to watch it a 4th time? I don't understand. I mean...
Because they want money.
Yeah, but I like Woody. I've had a few Woodies in my time, but I like Woody.
I had a Woody this morning, as a matter of fact.
Did you really?
I get morning Woodies.
Yeah, you go out to the golf club's course and you're tiger wooding? What are we talking about here? I don't want to hear about your Yeah. I
go out there and, swing my club, so to speak.
Fair enough.
Out on the green.
So Dop loves Pixar in the chat room and Dav does not. But that's totally fine. That's why we're here. We're here to agree and disagree. Movies are very, individual things. So let's go sci-fi. Right? Now, there's a lot of new sci-fi stuff. I have my own favorites here, but I'm going to let Erica say, besides Empire Strikes Back, best science fiction movie ever made to you, most cool. I'm going to probably agree with you on this. I think we see eye to eye on this.
There's 2 that are very close, though. 2 that are very close. I'd have to say Aliens.
Me too. Number 1. Number 1 by far. Number 1. It wins. What can beat Aliens as far as, like, a space action movie? Nothing. Nothing even comes close. None of the adventure films, none of it. Nothing. All right, please continue. What's your second? I may agree. I may disagree with you again, which makes me a hypocrite.
Another sci-fi movie?
Mm-hmm. Well, you said there were 2. So I took it on your word. You said there's 2.
Well, I mean, there's 2 around the same time that are really good. Terminator, or I don't know if you can say Terminator 1 or 2.
Now I was James Cameron and fun fact, or maybe not fun. James Cameron and George Lucas are the people that made me want to get into making movies. I would say that those are the 2, and a couple comedies. Because I'm kind of a mixture between comedy and action. But Terminator, I was obsessed with. But Aliens, I think is better than Terminator. I think it's a better film.
Yeah,
I love Terminator.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. I mean, because there's a bunch. I mean, I really love the new Blade Runner. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, that actually was pretty good. I would give you that.
The animated Ghost in the Shell from '94 was fantastic.
Good pick, good choice. Have you seen that, Austin? The animated Ghost in the Shell?
Ghost in the Shell.
I figured no.
That's a no.
I just knew. I knew immediately.
I don't have a clue.
Yeah. Have
really
you?
don't.
Have you had? Have you? When was the last? Who's that? Shakespeare book that you wrote that you read?
Huh?
I don't know how to read.
No, you know how to read. I'm just fucking with you. You're actually smarter than me. But so getting back, there are films that I've seen. I love movies, and I've been going to movies since a little kid. I'll talk about it a little bit. They've been a real refuge for me. I think they're dying in some ways, but we'll talk about that a little bit too. But what's a movie? There's movies in my past that are not great films, but very influential in my brain and extremely influential in culture. Like there was something about them that sort of carried forward and people copied for years, even though they weren't great. Can you name one of them, Austin, besides a Stone Cold film?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I've really not seen... This is actually difficult because, like, when I think about movies I've watched, they're, like, probably 3 or 4 years apart, like, every single one.
Give me one that was, like, you think culturally significant.
Culturally significant. Oh my god! I only watch comedies.
Well, give me a call. Tell me what is a culturally significant comedy. How about the movie Big? Have you seen the movie Big? That was a great film.
No.
All right. How about 40-Year-Old Virgin? That was 40-Year-Old Virgin. If you were to rewatch it, is actually
I know
really
what
good.
that is, but I've never seen it.
Okay, so these are great films. That launched a career of like 400 fucking people. Airplane, amazing. Yeah, I've probably seen, 5,000. Dav in the chat room says, I've seen 5,000 more films, more than Austin. That's fair. Austin has habits that I don't have. He likes chewing tobacco. He's into wrestling. He was a firefighter. He worked in a fucking industrial thing. He's a IT guy. I don't do any of that shit. Nor do I claim to be. So I have nothing but respect for Austin, except his movie knowledge is garbage. It's garbo, bro.
Yeah, I won't deny that. That is fair criticism. It's just one of them things that, like, people are like, you don't watch movies? I'm like, not really. I don't have nothing against them. It's just like there's nothing really out there that I feel like I absolutely have to see it.
But what's cool about you is that you have a superpower. You're impervious to spoilers because you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm never going to see that.
Like, you could have spoiled the new Avengers movie for me, and I wouldn't have had any idea what you were talking about.
I'm going to spoil it right now. The Avengers are in it. For you, that's a spoiler because you know nothing about it. Nothing. Anyway, Sharp said, isn't Ghostbusters original? I'm wearing the shirt. Kind of a comedy? Yeah, it's absolute comedy. It's like sci-fi fantasy comedy. So best fantasy film. That's an interesting question. What's the best fantasy film?
What's an example of a fantasy film?
Fucking dude,
Warcraft?
Yes, you've 4 movies you've seen your whole fucking life. I gave you a fucking soft curveball, whatever the fuck that is. Straight down the fucking pipe. I'm like, what's your favorite fantasy film? You're like, you've seen 3 movies. Categories. 3 movies. Holy shit. Harry Potter. Somebody mentioned that before.
I have seen Harry Potter.
Shiver me timbers. Where's fucking
I've actually seen The Sorcerer's Stone a few times.
Whoa. Okay, so Lord of the Rings. Let's talk. We have 2 movies to talk about real quickly. I've seen Lord of the Rings a shitload of time. The first one, I cannot sit through the second too many times. Erica loves them, right? Erica, you love those films, right?
Yeah, I definitely said the first one, in my opinion, is the strongest, and parts of the second and third film, but they're not bad movies by any stretch.
No. They're good. I just can't watch a talking tree sit there for half an hour. I can't do it. I'm good. If there's like sections I'll watch, I'll be like, oh, this is the part when blah. And then there's like 400 guys who look exactly the same. That confuses me. Any movie that people look the same for too fucking long, I get annoyed by. Because my brain can't track them. You know which movie I fucking hated for that reason? I fucking hated it. I'm going to go on record saying it. This movie, Black Hawk Down. Black Hawk Down. Because it was like a bunch of fucking soldiers. I think one was maybe Josh Hartnett or somebody who looked like Josh Hartnett or the Hartnett of his day. And there were 400 other Hartnett clones all wearing fucking masks the whole movie. And they're all the same height and they're all the same hair color. And I'm like, okay, who's dead now? I don't understand. Why do I care that the helicopter went down when I can't tell the difference between any of the white dudes in it?
You want to know a fun fact?
Yes, please.
Tom Hardy was in that film before.
I wouldn't have known because I would have thought there goes Josh Hartnett again. Saying, give me some distinction like Snatch. Snatch, I know there's the fucking gypsies, there's the short guy, there's the tall guy. It's actual fucking casting variation. It's crazy. I'm sure it had a good cast. I'm sure, but I wouldn't have known because they had masks on before you could see them. All right, Lord of the Rings. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. I think, Erica, you like the second two more than the first. I like the first more than the second.
No. I said I think the first film is the strongest, but I said there's parts of the second and third film that are very strong.
Interesting. Okay, I feel the same way because I feel like it's the character discovery. I think any movie where it's like the discovery of a character and you meet them for the first time and they test their own limits, those are usually the best. Origin stories are always the fucking best.
Yeah, like the definitely the Helm's Deep battle at the end of 2 is. The build up for that is great, and the stuff with Gollum is really interesting. But they have to build a lot to lead up to Helm's Deep, so it can kind of take a while. Like the Treebeard stuff doesn't bother me as much because he's really to me not on the screen that long. The extended edition, he's on the screen.
Oh my god, no! I can't do it. I'll be asleep 10 minutes into the movie. I can't do it.
Yeah, and then the third one is kind of the same thing. There's a lot of building, but the fight at the end is fucking awesome. But they could have also done a horrible job, like. We had to talk about it. The Hobbit films were abysmal.
Oh my god,
horrible,
unwatchable. I'd say, let's give a poll here. I'm gonna ask Austin first. Which was worse, the Hobbit movies or the Star Wars prequels?
You're gonna hate my answer to this.
I know your answer already. I didn't see any of them. You fuck. We're on a podcast about movies. You ain't seen any. It's unbelievable. It's amazing. It's amazing, bro. It's point, counterpoint, and no point at all. That's the name of this podcast. I'm point, she's counterpoint, and guess what you are? Okay, we don't have to fill in the blank, but because you're no point. You ever see Point of No Return? The remake of The Professional? No, it was not. The remake of La Femme Nikita. You ever see La Femme Nikita? That's a great influential film.
That sounds like a taco.
No, La Femme Nikita. That's French, bro. It's French. How fucking dare you? How dare you? There's so many good movies. There's like a million. We can discuss this forever. I'm gonna go with The Professional. The Professional was fucking fantastic. The Professional, much like a little bit of La Femme Nikita, was genre bending. Like that's one of those films that gets no credit for like creating an entirely new genre or having influence on the next 20 years of film. It's fucking unbelievable. I should go watch that again. And has Gary Oldman and Natalie Portman's best performance ever by Natalie Portman by far. You know?
I think that's. Sorry.
No, please.
I think that's one of the reasons people get uncomfortable about it because she's attracted to Leon and she's a young girl she's from a fucked up home.
All right.
They're like, oh, this is uncomfortable. It's like, oh, come on. It's like.
Listen, I'm sorry, please. I was gonna say something disturbing.
That's what made me cut you off.
No spoilers. Danny hasn't seen it in the chat room. Sorry. It's 25 fucking years later. It's so good. You have to watch that meeting, Danny. It's so good.
Great soundtrack too.
No, it's amazing, and it's just an amazing. So that's one of those films. And Dav asked me what influenced me the most. There were a lot of influences on me, and I can talk about influences. So I take pieces of films. So I wanted to before I was going to discuss what are films that are influential and yet not great films, and I don't even consider favorites of mine. I'm going to give you one. People will know it, and I'm going to tell you all the things that influenced. There were 3 things that influenced all science fiction that you've seen for the last 20 years. One of them was Aliens, right? The other one was The Abyss, and the third one was what's that movie, Erica, where they're in space with the ship and it goes to hell?
Oh, Event Horizon.
Event Horizon is single-handedly responsible for Dead Space. It set the bar for all horror, action, sci-fi movies. And between that, and it's been recreated so many goddamn times, between that, Aliens, and Abyss, those were completely ripped off. 100% fact. You can look at the designs for Halo. Almost all of Halo is ripped completely out of the Abyss. So these things are actually literally copied in addition to worshipped. That's how strong of an impression they are. So you asked me what films they had an influence on me? So many. So pick a genre. And Erica, I'd love to hear some of yours. And then Austin, I'd love to hear one of yours. Let me guess. It's the Warcraft movie. How did that influence you, bro? How did the Warcraft influence you? The Matrix, great movie. That's another one. Genre bending movie. Even if you hate The Matrix, somebody in the chat room said The Matrix, Danny did. Even if you hate The Matrix, you think, oh, it's copied from Japanese anime, which it did, right? Or it was stolen from a screenwriter, which apparently it was, and recreated. It changed everything. The Matrix is like, it's an unreal creation. And its effects are 20 years old, 25, whatever it is, and it's still really good. If The Matrix is on tomorrow, I would watch it. Now, The Matrix 2 and 3, I wish I wish they would pull the plug out of my fucking head and take me out of the theater when I was watching those. Like, and make sure, like, oh, this can't be reality. Give me the fucking blue pill so I can get out of this fucking theater immediately. They were horrible. Them shits is fucking terrible. Terrible storytelling, but had some cool elements to them. The architect and all this stuff. There was like 10 minutes of cool shit, and then some 10 minutes of cool ideas, and the rest of it, dog shit. Right? Anyway, so we're talking about influence of movies. Let me go through the genre. I'd love to hear some that influence you, Erica. As Erica's an artist. Erica, I've said many times, worked for Rockstar Games, works for WWE, so she's obviously a fan of gamer community. Austin holds her in high regard. Austin, do you hold Erica in high regard? I hope you do.
Yeah, come on,
I mean, as a person, yeah.
Okay. So, not as an artist. Forget that.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, like, I'm not saying, like, I don't appreciate her artistic ability. I just am saying, like, yeah, I hold her to high regard as a person. I think she's great.
She is great. That's true. Yeah, I get a double all for that. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to just list off movies that influenced me as a kid, and I want to hear Erica's list, and then I want to hear Austin's list of, like, half a movie that influenced him because he saw it. Because the DVD was free that day at Walmart or wherever he was. I don't mean to stereotype. It could have been some other store. The Piggly Wiggly. I don't know why I thought of that name. I saw the movie the other day. Anyway, okay, let's go. Sci-fi, obviously Aliens. I thought even Event Horizon was influential. Terminator, all the original films. Avatar I liked, but it didn't really do anything for me. It wasn't like, oh my God, I'm influenced by this. You know what I'm saying? What's some other sci-fi films? I like interesting sci-fi films. Even The Martian was kind of interesting. Well, not great. What's some other more... it's more TV that's going there. But as far as action, let's see. Best action movie ever made. God, there's so many. Holy shit. I mean, you could go... You know what's a great action movie? Die Hard. Die Hard. It's amazing. Die Hard's fucking amazing. It's
one of the best Christmas movies ever.
It really is, but it's one of the best action movies ever. And like I said, it's fucking old. Then you can go way back to like, oh, The French Connection, like, you know what I mean? I haven't not somebody just mentioned The Expanse, the TV show. We're going to talk about TV shows a little bit. I really want to see that. I hear great things about it. Let's see. Action movie. Why can I not think? Obviously, The Matrix, unfucking believable action. But then you take things like Snatch, great action in that. There's so many movies with like great. My brain just takes great moments from films and just pulls from everything. You know, that's just kind of how John Wick had some great action in it.
No one else.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Erica. Please, anytime.
You know what also had? I mean, I cut into you.
No.
Dread had some fucking great action. Not that piece of shit Stallone one. The one with Carl Urban.
No, I'm the law. Adrian, I'm the law. Fuck you, dude. How dare you ruin a fucking amazing idea? Judge Dredd is one of the most significant and influential pieces of comic art ever drawn. And I don't know everything, but I used to read them when I was a kid. That was a big influence on me, Judge Dredd. There was such commentary on society, where society was going. And the new Dredd movie was actually pretty good. And the fucking action was really actually pretty sick. You know what's really good? A more recent film was that, what was that one, Erica, with the guy, Implant or whatever? Outsource?
Oh, Upgrade.
Outsource.
Oh my God.
Outsource. I've been seeing too many Donald Trump headlines. Outsource the movie.
It's Upgrade.
What's it called?
Upgrade.
Immigrant, the movie.
Oh my God,
reading
I'm
too many
dying.
headlines. Upgrade is really good. So that's that kind of film that's just like under the radar that I really like because it's interesting. I like sci-fi films that are sometimes not too big. Like what was that really cool movie with the android? That's a great fucking film.
Ex Machina.
Dude, you're just like I should just like carry you in my pocket as like you're like a EMDB, Erica Movie Database.
EMD.
I was like, Erica, what was that fucking time with this? Okay, Austin, who was the star of Shawshank Redemption? Just take a guess.
Is that a scary movie?
No, maybe. Take a guess. Who was the star?
I have no idea.
Bro.
Tim Robbins.
Okay, fair enough.
Who's Tim Robbins?
Don't worry about it. We'll tell you later. We'll tell you later.
Is that like the ice cream guy? Like the
yeah. He's like the ice cream version of the KFC guy. That's Tim Robbins. Yeah.
Oh.
And he serves coffee in Canada, apparently. Tim Robbins, isn't that the name of that coffee place? Robbins or
you're thinking of
Tim Hortons. Whatever. Who gives a shit? Robbins, Hortons. Sounds like a fucking just nameless faceless white guy. Fuck him.
He was a hockey player.
Was he really Tim Horton? I don't really know.
Yes, he was a famous Canadian hockey player.
Isn't that the fucking the shit Tim Horton and the Who's or whatever that Dr.
That's
Seuss?
Horton here's a
Tim Horton.
They're fighting over
Tim Horton, who's a fuck and gives a fuck. The character.
Horton
Look,
here's who?
Yeah. Don't worry about Austin. We'll tell you later.
Look,
I'm gonna catch you up. later. I'm gonna give you a tutorial.
One's about buttered bread and one sells donuts.
Okay.
Don't.
Sorry.
Did they ever figure out who Horton was hearing, or is it always just who?
He heard of what once in a while, but they had to change it for legal reasons, copyright. Okay, so fuck, you know what's a fucking great movie? Couple of 70s films, like more comedy, like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the first one. That movie's actually pretty fucking good.
Oh, like the original?
Yeah.
Willy Wonka?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. And then we'll go way back. We can go back to like I've seen films back. I'm very influenced by films from like the 30s, like Maurice Chevalier films and von Sternberg, and like, I mean, really, I took a lot of film history when I was a kid. Even some black and white films, just Cabin of Dr. Caligari. I mean, really, obviously Citizen Kane, Raging Bull.
Voyage
sort of,
to the Moon.
Yeah. The sort of really like the classics. I love things that set a tone for like the first time in history. I mean, you get 70s films. 70s kind of did horror. Almost, I don't say horror because I can't. I say horror. It's like the Jews say Torah. The hara.
Well, they have the dance, the hara, at the weddings where you get up on the chair.
Oh my God! Yes. I'd be like, oh, it's the hara movie.
Like what?
It's a hara movie. Sorry,
Jews
I love you, Jews. I got the nose. I can make the jokes. So why did I switch the camera? I don't know. So 70s had like The Shining, fucking unbelievable. So I'm influenced. I've seen The Shining a bunch of times, but I love The Clockwork Orange. I used to watch scenes in slow motion on The Clockwork Orange to study how Kubrick would pull things off. I think Kubrick, for my money, had some of the best like visual translation of his own brain of a mood and a scene. I think Kubrick is like the fucking... There's no absolutes because everybody has their own vision of how they translate. But I love cinema where... I love movies where somebody can take, and this is done a lot on TV and things like Game of Thrones and stuff, and on Vikings, surprisingly. Have you ever seen Vikings on TV, Austin?
No.
So anyway, but I love it like in movies.
Thing too. I've never seen.
Oh my God, TV too.
I never saw Breaking Bad. I've never seen Game of Thrones. I've never seen Walking Dead.
No. This is a fucking horror movie right here. This is what this is. It's fucking unbelievable. Unbelievable. Starring the all right. So I love movies that have like that cinematic moment that can't be topped. And there's so many. Like, you know what one of my favorite movies is that I used to watch constantly for cinema? That created like, and I can watch. I've seen it like 50 times, and I have to watch every couple of years because I like to forget about it. So if you have not seen it, and I saw it in the theater, go see Run Lola Run. I love that movie. Best soundtrack probably of any film I've seen. It's fantastic, and it's just so interesting what they do. Now, speaking of which, speaking of movies that I can watch over and over, I like movies that, because I'm like my brain works in loops and I'm a little of a sick person. Austin, you did know that I was a sick person, right?
You claimed to be, but
bro, I can't even get that from you. I'm grabbing straws with you today. Grabbing. We do
grasping.
love you. Yeah, I'm grasping. I get all idiomatic expressions wrong. I can't say it. I'm sorry. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the movies that repeat themselves, much like Jeskidding, right? Those are I like Run Lola Run and two others. I really loved Groundhog Day. I could watch Groundhog Day whenever the fuck it's on. I love that movie because I love how it just like repeats and just gets more interesting as it goes. It has to build on itself by repeating. In fact, I wrote a TV series that I wanted to do, a character based on that, but I haven't not seen it yet. Then the last one of that is, what's actually really interesting, and I don't think Erica liked this very much, but I really liked it, was that Edge of Tomorrow. I really like Edge of Tomorrow. I thought it was a great sci-fi movie. I'm not saying you didn't like it. I'm just saying.
It's one of the best manga adaptations out there.
Oh, you like
Japanese
it? I thought you didn't like it. I'm sorry.
No.
Well, let me change my story and go back in time. Right now I'm back, and I can replay that moment. Erica, isn't Edge of Tomorrow one of the best anime adaptations ever made?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, good. Now I've corrected my mistake, and I learned that watching those movies, which is fucking amazing. So I love movies that sort of, aren't afraid to sort of transcend the traditional movie language and make a bigger moment, usually with music or with slow motion or just something that's sort of really out of the director's head. Something that's like where the director puts his fucking stamp on it. And it's like, takes me to a place that maybe... Why are you laughing at me?
No, I just thought of a movie. It's not a good movie, but it's classic. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. That's fine. I'm like The Incredible Shrinking Man. That was a movie. Actually, maybe it was a woman. I don't fucking know. Honey, you just shrunk my ego. Okay? That's the thing. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just playing. That's not a great movie. That's not a great movie.
No, Barry Gordon's The Last Dragon.
Dude, that's fucking classic. So that's that falls under guilty pleasure movies, of which I have a few. Please.
But I have never heard anybody say it's a piece of shit. It's not like a bad movie, good movie, but it's just a fucking great movie. Why don't you sit down and shut up? Why don't I what? I said, why don't you sit down and shut up?
I'll argue with anybody that that's a great film. Now, I'll never watch it with them because all of my opinions will be thrown out the window because it's probably garbage. But it's great in my brain because he's got the glow. And when you've got the glow, you've got the glow, you've got the glow, glow, glow. That's a song from the movie. Maybe I'm just exaggerating the words, but that's kind of... The movie was like, when I was a kid, it was like this urban, like Bruce Lee story. And that was amazing. That's what's so dope about it. Fun fact, anybody that's seen The Last Dragon, Taimak, who's the star of Last Dragon, I used to fight in karate tournaments, and I saw Taimak used to work for the MSG channel, and it was like almost like public access channel, used to be a commenter on the thing, and he commentated on my tournament on that thing. So that was pretty cool. Then I moved to LA, and across the street was the Crunch Gym, and he was a trainer at Crunch. Now, I feel terrible saying that because he was in these movies, and nobody likes to have those moments where after you're in a big movie, you're working just as like a physical fucking trainer, but everybody's got to pay the bills. And he was there, took his class a few times, and it was cool. So I trained with The Last Dragon, officially. So I'm like, how to train your dragon. Not a bad movie, by the way. Okay, so Rigel in the chat room said The Neverending Story. Good movie. The first movie was actually pretty good. I'm gonna actually up that, though. And this one goes out to Dav. If Dav haven't seen in the chat room, because Dav is sort of a filmy, snobby kind of guy. He likes high cinema, and I do too. And I'm gonna say two movies. One doesn't hold up as well as the other, and but both by the same director, right? First one is Brazil. Talk about visionary films. Dun 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 dun. Doesn't hold up amazingly, but it has so many interesting ideas in it. And you talk about like influential in the post-apocalyptic sort of like fallout sense, Brazil. But I think a better movie than Brazil, and kind of disturbing to watch, but great, is and Brazil, by the way, had Robert De Niro in it in a guest role. Two of these movies had big guest roles. And the second movie was Time Bandits. Time Bandits is fucking amazing. It's so good. And starring in Time Bandits was, what do you call it? Sean Connery showed up in the middle of it. It's like, that's fucking Sean Connery, yo. James Bond, bro. So, Time Bandits, if you haven't seen it, you should totally go see it. What's up, a Star? Star says Evolution. Have I seen Evolution? I don't know. Which one is Evolution?
Was that the comedy?
I don't know what that is. Book of Eli, I saw. It's okay. I think the films I'm listing are a lot better than Book of Eli. Book of Eli was a little forgettable for me compared to those I'm listing for you. I mean, you take like Book of Eli is like Brazil meets Mad Max meets something else. You know what I'm saying? I think, but you talk about stylistically, one of the most interesting stylistic films that I think Erica will agree with this, but you don't have to if you don't want to go on the record, that I think was totally borrowed from for Max Payne, the video game, was Man on Fire. And Man on Fire, not a great film per se, but pretty fucking good and very interesting visually. Very interesting. What do you think?
Tony Scott knows how to use his gels, and the visual language for Max Payne 3 was absolutely pulled from Man on Fire.
Absolutely. So somebody listed Pulp Fiction. How can we forget Tarantino in here? I could watch Pulp Fiction, not every day, but I like his work. I didn't used to as much. But I've really grown to really admire him a lot more. I thought he was a little on the overrated side, I'm just being honest. And he's a little crazy and he's a little egotistical. Just being honest, so if you're out there, don't hate me. But then he really changed my mind with Kill Bill. Kill Bill was so interestingly stylized and had so many fucking epic cinematic moments. I was like, I credit what credit's due. The guy's pretty fucking great at what he does. He's a visionary. I think I was just like in college and I wanted to be a filmmaker and everybody's like, Pulp Fiction, he's the greatest director that's ever lived. And I was like, I liked more like Kubrick and Spielberg and all these other guys. Scorsese, Goodfellas, one of my favorites. Love Goodfellas, could pull from that all the time in my brain. But I think maybe I was just a little jealous, maybe, you know? But years later, he said something that really annoyed me, off topic. Where he said he was in a little panel, and he was there with Robert Rodriguez, and Robert Rodriguez, I have mixed feelings on Robert Rodriguez. I don't want to talk about that. Mixed feelings. But I like his work. I think he's a genius at what he does with El Mariachi and those things. But I really like Spy Kids, but I really want to see the movie that he's yet to make. I'll put it to you that way about Robert Rodriguez. But with Tarantino, he was in a room with Tarantino, and somebody asked a question that says, how do you break into this crazy industry now that it's oversaturated, this and that? And Tarantino said, you just need to make a movie as great as Reservoir Dogs, and then you'll be in. And it was such an insulting, infuriating answer to me, because that's not true at all anymore. I mean, it's just such a closed system. To even get the money to make a movie like that is so impossible. And that's why Robert Rodriguez, he's like, I don't think it's that simple. And he kind of stepped on him for it. And he was right, because it's always like those that are successful usually think, oh, you just have to follow what I did. That's total bullshit. Anyway, that's totally off topic. Back to the happy topic of movies. Okay, so let's go back to my list. What's your most guilty pleasure movie, Erica?
Like
the movie you think everybody else would think it sucks, but you're like, oh my god, it's the fucking, I gotta watch it. I don't care what anybody thinks.
I can definitely tell you one.
Oh, please, tell me. Austin.
One of my favorite movies.
Yes.
And this is probably going to come as a shock, but Mean Girls.
Oh,
I actually love that movie.
Amazing.
It's so good.
I honestly, and to pay you back for all the times that you made me suffer in this podcast, I've never seen it.
You're missing out.
I've never seen it. Is it good?
I think it's hilarious.
Oh, Paul said my favorite bad movie is movie 43. What's movie 43? Anybody know that? That's so bad I never heard of it. My favorite thing to watch, I'm not like Erica likes bad movies more than I like bad movies. I kind of don't.
Excuse me?
Maybe you don't. Do you like bad movies more? I'm going to ask you as a question. Let me rewind this Groundhog's Day. Erica, what kind of, do you like bad movies? What's your thing?
I'm trying to think of a bad movie. I like how you're like, oh, you like shit.
I didn't say that.
Excuse
I
me.
reverse time.
Mm-hmm.
I reverse time. You can't negate the reversal of time. I just use my time stone.
What's a bad movie? Oh, the original Ninja Turtle movie. It is not a good movie, but for nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's not horrible, but it's not a good movie. Like, they actually didn't need the Ninja Turtles in it because the guy that played Casey Jones Elias Thurdo, whatever his name is, and the girl that played April O'Neil. It was actually an interesting story. I don't think the turtles need to be in it. But for nostalgia's sake, I watch it. But it's not really a good movie.
You know what's actually in my brain? I don't know if it's good or not, but I think it's fucking good. Transformers the movie, fucking great. The first one, fucking great.
Oh, from the 80s.
Yeah, great, amazing.
Okay.
Saw it like 5 times in the theater. I saw movies like 5-10 times in the theater. When I was a kid, all I did was hang out in the movie theater. Like literally, I'd sneak into more movies. I was obsessed. And if I liked something, Flash Gordon over and over and over. Star Wars 25 times in the theater. You know what I'm saying? If I like it, I just wanted to see it again. And they didn't really have VHS. They had nothing. You couldn't watch this shit at home. It was fucking crazy expensive. So I just went to the movies. And I begged everybody to take me. That's all I did. The best double feature I ever saw in a theater, it was like a retro thing or it was like whatever. I got to see with my dad, took me to see double feature, which was Blade Runner and then The Road Warrior. What a fucking film education that was. Holy shit. Mind-blowing. So both left a deep imprint on me, and I was scarred too. What?
Yeah, I was going to say, you forgot to list Blade Runner as one of the most influential sci-fi movies.
Dystopian, yeah, 100%.
Future.
100%.
Did you say Road Warriors like the tag team?
Yes, I did. Yes, just like the WWF tag team, the Road Warriors.
And the Blade Runners, too. That was the ultimate warrior instinct.
Oh, my God. Anyway.
I'm not kidding.
Oh my God! It stop! Make it stop! Lost Boys, very cool movie in the '80s. Very cool. Saw it again recently. Not all of it holds up. Okay, let's go more pop movies. The Goonies, a fucking childhood shaping movie. That's what that was. The Goonies, so good, so good. And then let's go to Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones series.
Oh my God!
Come on. I mean, the first one actually a very good film, but I love the second one. So there's a guilty movie I love that I know is not a good film. I love Temple of Doom. Fucking loved it. It's a very popcorny film, but I loved it.
But it's fun, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it more than the first one, but that's because I was 12. Now that I look back, the first one is way better.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Last Crusade.
Rigel in the chat says The Goonies.
Yeah, Goonies never die.
Oh, my gosh.
They don't. Did you see The Goonies?
I have seen The Goonies. That's the kid that shakes his fat.
Yeah, Truffle Shuffle, bro.
Do the Truffle Shuffle.
Yeah, Truffle Shuffle.
It's fucking Truffle Shuffle.
Come on.
It's the best.
Do it.
So if The Goonies is on,
I used to have that on VHS.
Dude, I like your style, bro. Now we found something. We're bonding. We're bonding, me and you. I have a Goonies shirt I wear in the stream sometimes. Maybe you haven't noticed. No?
I don't think so. I think if I noticed, I would have said something.
Hey,
for sure.
you guys! I used to be somebody in my chat room who I used to say, look like that guy. It's terrible. And I used to do it every time he came in the chat room. I was like, hey, you guys. I used to be a more fucked up person. Then I had another guy that used to come in my chat room, and he had like a pear-shaped body, and he said something to me that pissed me off. I'm like, oh, yeah? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Right? Now, you have to be a certain age to know what a fucking weeble is, but if you know, you know. If you're in the know, you're in the know. If you don't know, you don't know. Fuck you. All right, so moving on. Let's go back to the thing. So let's go. We have to cover a lot of topics quick, and then we're going to do like a part 2 to this movie shit, because there's a lot of fucking movies we didn't cover today. I like this. This is good. It's very poppy, right? Our movie's dying. Austin, they've been dead to you your whole life. You don't even get to answer this question. This is not a question for you. Are they dying? How would you know? You've never even checked its pulse. All right, Erica.
That's true.
Our movie's dying.
They're definitely not as much about the art and more about churning out, printing money.
Interesting. Are they more?
Like
I'd say they're more about the spectacle. Wouldn't you say?
Well, yeah, but that ties into like the money thing, in my opinion. Like it's happening to gaming now, where it just becomes it's all about how much money can we make off of this game.
Right.
In my opinion.
Nigel in the chat room says narrative fiction seems to be moving towards TV shows for the better. I think. I agree. I think that TV shows are the new movies. I think that TV shows have replaced the movie. I think that movies are becoming more of the rarity. I think that people want to know. I burped in the middle of that. Maybe because I'm throwing up in my mouth a little bit because I love movies so much. But I think that movies are a dying art because I think the format itself may be dying. Or is the format of movies dying? What do you think, Austin?
I don't know if the format's changed since I last saw one.
What was that, 1996?
I was 3.
You were 3. Okay. Has it changed? Has much changed since you were 3, Austin?
I mean, I have a lot of those old school movies that I really miss.
How about Old School?
Like,
you ever see Old School?
Yes. Oh,
you my boy, Blue. You my boy, Blue.
Streaking.
Oh, we're going streaking. I fucking love Old School. But you know what's another great movie at that time? Was Road Trip. Road Trip was actually pretty good. The first one.
God.
That's a great movie.
Is that the one where the guy was like in college in Mexico or something?
Yeah. Well, not Mexico. That's Euro Trip. Right? Yeah. They always fuck it up with the sequels. Road Trip was good. Old School was better though. I think I could watch Old School. If you did like a comedy weekend, I'd squeeze in my comedy. I'd say Shades of Grey. My Shades of Grey, not theirs. My Shades of Grey is one of the better comedies out there. That's fact. You should check it out. It's really good. Anyway, so moving on to other fucking things. All right, where were we? So movies are dying. I think they are. I think that movies are going the way of the video game. I think that movies are, meaning that like, used to be arcades where we'd all join up in a place and we'd be like, let's watch something together. Right? And then, let's play games together with our thumbs. See, I'm playing games on the camera. You can see me. And then like, people would be like, oh, we had an experience together. But now you go to movie theaters, motherfuckers don't know how to act. Little kids are running through the aisles.
And it's
people on their cell phones the whole movie. And it's expensive. It's like $60 fucking for 2 hours. Popcorn's like $17 fucking. I don't need that shit. Anyway, so but movie theaters, like if you notice, more movies that are coming out in theaters are more spectacle pieces. Just like video games. Right? At first you used to have like a lot of games and there'd be like Frogger and Galaxia, whatever the fuck, Centipede. And then that next evolution, there'd be like Street Fighter and all kinds of shit. Right? Now all the games and then it moved to the home systems. Right? And even that wasn't enough. Now everything's a AAA title. Same thing with movies. Movies is like, used to be like, oh, you go to a movie just to see some fucking Tom Hanks film where he gets lost in the desert or he's dating some girl or every other fucking movie he makes. And you'd see that. You'd pay money to see that in the theater. Tell me if somebody came out with a romantic comedy now, you'd be like, yeah, I'm going to go with my friends to check that out. I'm going to go date night. Netflix and chill replace going to the movies with your date. That shit's over. Now it's the Avengers.
Nothing.
What did you say? Is it what you say?
Cheap fucks.
Oh, I said cheap fuck. I thought you meant like the word fuck. Like, oh, you can't fuck in the theater. I'm like, I hope not. Ew.
I just think watching movies at home is just better.
It is.
Than going to the theater.
Well, I think that what changes, like the actual screens got bigger at home. You don't have to listen to anybody else's bullshit. And it's cheaper.
Nope.
It's cheaper. So I still love movies. I hope it sticks around. But anyway, so let's go. Last question. Last question from the audience. And I'm going to open up the Discord. Anybody wants to jump in really quickly, you get to come in here and give your favorite movie. So go into the Discord now. This is the interactive part. And go into the thing that says stream chat or something in there. And I will drag you in here and you'll get to tell me what your fucking favorite movie is. This is your moment. This is your moment to shine, to state your taste to the world. Just like Austin has done all podcast with every single movie he's ever seen. All 3 of them. All right.
I've probably seen a handful.
I'll be like, what's your favorite fucking sci-fi movie? Warcraft. What's your favorite drama? Warcraft. What's your favorite? You're getting a theme here. Somebody else said Pulp Fiction. So the Discord is now open for anybody that wants to come in. Join the room and I'll drag you in. Okay, so a couple more things. Favorite movies. Erica, list 2 more. Give me some shit you love. If you could say, I'm going to go watch a movie now, what would it be?
God damn it. I would say Spirited Away.
Spirited Away.
Or the new Blade Runner.
The new Blade Runner. You must be in a particular mood. These are very mood-oriented pieces.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing, right? You have to be in a certain mood. Like sometimes I want to watch a Meg Ryan movie, like French Kiss or IQ. But I'm not in the mood.
Oh, these are good movies. Good. So you're a rom-com lady. So you're a big Meg Ryan kind of lady, right? There's no judgment on that.
They don't make him like they used to, though. I don't even like.
Who's the new Meg Ryan? Is there one?
I mean, Anne Hathaway could have been.
Maybe. What about that chick who's got like freckles and shit? She was kind of like romantic comedy for a little while.
Emily Blunt?
No, the other freckle chick. What the fuck was her name? She was in the Birdman movie. Birdman.
Saoirse something.
I don't fucking know her name. Who gives a shit, right? Just Scarlett Jobob, whatever her fucking other name. All those girls are the same to me. I love you if you're out there, whoever. I'm sorry. Don't banish me from the career I'll never have. Sorry, I should never put myself down. All right, so moving on. So Steve is now in the chat room. Let's get him in. And Jerry and lots of people. So first we're going to pull in Steve. Steve comes in first. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve. How are you, Steve?
Hey, how's it going?
Going good, dude. Give us your movie. What's your favorite fucking movie?
Oh Jesus!
No, that's not a film. That's not a film. That's a fucking religious belief,
Actually,
and this is not a religious podcast. Okay, sorry.
It's called The Passions, but that's not my favorite film.
The Passion. My God.
Anyway, God, you really had to pop the question on that one, did you? That's really hard to do, man.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna put you on hold for a second. I'm gonna go to somebody else. I'm gonna come back. I want you to think on this fucking thing, okay? Think on it.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Think on it. Somebody said Darkman and Thing. I saw Darkman. What an utter piece of shit. But I appreciate that you said it and it had very funny parts in it. That's my opinion, though. Darkman.
Was that the one with Liam Neeson?
It was. It was.
Oh, my word.
Hey, I'm Darkman. It's like he was on Batman before Batman. He really was. He really fucking was. All right, Steve, think about it for a second. I'm going to pull in Torn Vega here. All right?
Okay.
Torn, you're in. What's up, dude? Speak.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Don't turn off the channel. This is like the radio. Turn down the fucking thing. We can hear your radio blasting in the background. Well, I feel like I've hit a pinnacle in my career. Torn, how are you, dude? Tell me, what's your favorite movie, bro?
Probably the Harry Potter series as a whole, but that's not one movie.
Fair. No, it's fair. They're all kind of...
House Moving Castle would definitely be like...
Whoa. You and Erica here are going to be best friends. What about you, Austin? Have you seen House Moving Castle?
Howl's Moving Castle? What?
It is anime gold.
Have you seen it, bro? It's a fucking classic. It's a what do you call it? Miyazaki film. Have you seen how many Miyazaki films have you seen, Austin?
Miyazaki.
Miyazaki, not Miyazaki.
Yeah, no, that's what you order when you go out for a night of Japanese food. I want Miyazaki.
Fucking racist.
It's not racist. That's just a bunch of jumbled words that I put together.
I would call dumb fucks.
Yes, how dare you sign me with a...
It's a big castle made of junk that's just moving around the wasteland.
I like your style, bro. Big castles. Now let's go back to Steve. Steve, what's your favorite fucking movie, Steve? You got a lot of time to think about this.
I would have to say Final Fantasy Spirits Within.
Oh, my God. You're fucking kidding me. Dude, tell me you're joking.
Okay.
Tell me you're joking.
Seriously, do you seriously want me to break it down the reason why?
Dude, it's got a fucking... animated jizz shot that goes on for 400 fucking hours. I sat there and laughed at that movie like, what a pile of fucking dog shit is this thing. This is your favorite movie. This is what you're bringing to the table. This may be a worse answer than Stone Cold from a fucking dick face over here. Austin.
What?
And yet you're the dumbass that asked.
Are you kidding me?
No. Tell me what you like.
Movie with the Texas rattlesnake?
Yeah.
Shake the snake.
All right, so no, tell me why you like it. I'm sorry. Everybody has their opinion. That's my counter opinion to your opinion.
Okay, when you take into consideration that films like the original Toy Story by Pixar was considered to be the peak of CG animation at its time.
Right.
Okay, but then again, you take a look at Final Fantasy Spirits Within, and then compare it to another Final Fantasy animated film like Advent Children that came out, about 5-6 years ago. Spirits Within still holds up graphically and technology-wise. Excuse me.
Technologically.
Yes, technologically. Thank you. Because there were a lot of tools that they built in order to match
you admire
physics for hair and fluid dynamics for that movie.
So you admire it for its technological innovation. Okay, I can respect that. I respect you for that.
The story wasn't exactly all that great because, it was a typical bunny hugger thing. Like, oh, Gaia, the planet's dying, blah, 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 blah. Okay, what do you freaking do? Oh, by the way, we're being invaded by alien ghosts.
Yeah, that sounds like a fucking page turner.
Yeah. But honestly, when you break it down, the visuals of that movie even beat or still hold up the bar when you compare it to modern movies of great spectacles like Endgame or Infinity War or anything else. Wow.
Well, listen, I really respect you for going out on a limb and choosing something that a lot of people would go against, and that you have a particular reason. I'll give you the floor for 10 more seconds to tell me what you like about this movie, because it's bad enough that I had to sit through this fucking thing. To have to listen to it is even worse. That's a joke. I'm joking, by the way. I'm joking. I have nothing but respect for Steve. Is a talented guy. We love you, Steve.
We love Steve? It's just the technology.
Okay, fair enough. Done. Okay, good. Moving on to Jerry, right? And let's get a love for Steve. Everybody, do we love Steve, Torrin, and Austin?
Love Steve.
Oh, we love Steve.
Steve doesn't even love Steve.
Even if he picked a movie that was less entertaining than squirrel in a blender, but
Hey, it wasn't entertaining, but it was, for someone like me who loves technology, it's what I wanted.
Look, dude, each to his own. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of weird shit that I do on a daily basis that one day you'll find out about and you'll wish that you didn't. Okay, moving on. Okay, Jerry, you're in the chat room.
I wish I didn't right now.
How are you, Jerry?
Yep. I'm good.
I have to turn you down a little bit. So, Jerry, what is your favorite movie?
I'm gonna have to save MCU.
Is this the whole entire Marvel universe that you just mentioned?
Yeah.
I think that's illegal. I don't think you can take 23 movies and say that your favorite movie. I think you're cheating.
Hey.
22.
That's cheating. That's like, what's your favorite movie?
Franchise.
Yeah, Jerry, and your mic is overmodulating. You know why it's overmodulating? Because you just tried to cram 23 movies into one. It's that your voice. 22. No, it's 23 actually, isn't it?
No, it's 22.
I don't know. It's like 3,000 hours or some crap.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. You're even gonna take some of those movies, which is the second and third movies, which are kind of lower. Look, I'll say it's the single best continuing vision that's ever made, but nothing's even come close to it, right? What else has had 23 movies to evolve? I can't think of it. That's
James Bond.
No, but he doesn't evolve. Every fucking movie,
That's true.
every movie's a like
True.
individual adventure of how he's gonna fuck some chick and save the universe or planet, whatever. Right? Octopussy and Pussy Galore and Pussy Face, all those movies.
You have to appreciate the entire planning of
I do.
Of planting everything in relation to that storyline to that storyline.
Okay, you watch
Granted that some movies are just offshoots so that they can have their own encapsulated story, but to introduce all, like, I guess 61 characters to finally have that group shot,
amazing,
and give everyone some due of some sort of or some of the major characters some due of some sort.
Agreed. So fun fact for the chat room, me and Jerry grew up together, and we went to elementary school together, and we would
comic books together.
We would go to a place called West Side Comics together on 86th Street off of Columbus. It's gone now for a long time, and we would go all the time and buy comics. And we were in the time period of where all the things that are happening now, for the most part, came out and have been copied ever since. And not all the Marvel stuff, but all the X-Men time, Fall of the New Mutants, Secret Wars, new Spider-Man costume. That was like the golden age of comics that we used to go. And I stopped going because them shits got too expensive. When they started printing on like the super paper, like that crazy gloss shit, I'm like, I ain't buying that. But that's when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out, the comic book version, not the fucking shitty movie they made. No offense, Erica. But I like the movie too, but I like the comic a lot more. That's kind of why I was stuck on it. Judge Dredd, which we talked about before. Anyway, back to the fucking thing. So you think Marvel Universe is the best thing ever. So pick one of the Marvel movies and say it's the best of the entire series.
First Iron Man.
Oh, you just threw in your gauntlet. We were asking Jerry, bro. You already got the spirit fucking away. You chose your superhero movie. It's a fucking cum shot in CG. I'm sorry, I went back to I couldn't help myself.
I only went there is because they haven't given Punisher his due.
That's fair. But the Punisher, I watched the Punisher the series, by the way. We're gonna have the TV show episode 1. The Punisher the fucking series. I spent 4 episodes watching him talk to a guy while he was torturing him, and I'm like, I can't watch this anymore. I couldn't do it.
He was better in Daredevil.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's fucking amazing that scene in prison where they try to jump him. That's like the single greatest fucking action scene ever made. I'm like, this guy's incredible. Anyway, that's totally off topic. All right, back to you, Jerry. Single best of the Marvel universe that you saw. What's the best movie?
Outside of Endgame, I would say Civil War.
Civil War, the Captain America.
Captain America Civil War.
The whatever his name, Flighty McFlight or whatever the fuck, Winter Soldier face. What's his fucking name? I don't know. What's his Bucky McFuckster. I don't know. It's a lot of characters, bro. Can't remember all this shit. I'm talking about a lot of movies here.
You're not a true comic book fan.
You tried to out fucking nerd me, bro. You just throwing down the nerd crate. Oh, I know more about the shit you don't remember. How about I am a bigger comic book fan because I rediscover it every time I watch it because I just don't remember anything. That's not my fault.
You just don't remember.
It's not my fault.
Someone did the flashy on the MIB on you.
Yeah, way to fucking make fun of my disability, Jerry. Fucking dick, right?
Hey, I'm using MIB. I'm using an MIB reference. Come on.
Yeah. That's racist. All right, so let me do the conclusionary statement. I got to give a fucking conclusionary statement. What do I like about movies? I'll have a serious statement. I'm going to mute you guys for a second. Forgive me. Well, anyway, let me give you the quick thank you. This is a better way to do it. Thank you, OC Diva. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Redneck. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Horne. Thank you, Chatroom, for everybody who participated in the chat today. Thank you for everybody who follows and supports the channel and all that nice shit. Movies. So just want to talk about, and we're going to do, I think, another movie episode of this because I think it's a good experience. And other pop culture things. Because who wants to talk about fucking self-analytical shit for months on end? Apparently I do, but I'm done with that. For now, let's talk about more fun shit. But I think movies are, I'm going to just mute you guys for 1 second. In fact, I'm going to just leave this chat, but thank you guys for the amazing conversation, and I'll see you in the chat in a second. All right, I can't hear them for a second because I left the room. But movies to me are so significant in my life. And as a kid, movies were my refuge. Movies were the place that I went when, times were hard. I had trouble, growing up in the streets of New York. Anytimes I would have any family trouble, anything that happened to me, this was a place I could escape to. This is a place that it was magic to me. It was like when those lights went down and I had my food that I had snuck in from the local store or even Chinese restaurant, and we'd stink up the whole theater. It was just like this unbelievable way for me to transport into another version of me, which was something that I would see on the screen. And just really, I would just experience it at such a level that even today, I kind of turn the lights out. I don't even like to talk to people sometimes. I just want to be caught in the universe of what I'm watching. I want to be enveloped by this thing that sort of brought me so much comfort as a child. I love movies so much that, like, when I watch them, it's like, it's easy for me to get tears in my eyes. It's easy for me to bust out laughing. They've meant everything to me. So to see that changing over to TV in short form and this and that is a little disappointing, but also kind of beautiful because I see it being reborn. And as long as people are out there creating great things, and it's one of the reasons I aspire to create great things, is because I feel that this is a gift that many of these filmmakers have given me, and many of us. They've given me a piece of themselves. Some artist somewhere wrote a script or went out and shot something and really gave a damn about what they were doing, so that some little kid out there or some lonely person or somebody who just wanted to have fun with their friends could have a spectacular night and leave with a little glow around them. There were certain movies when I saw them, I left speechless. And some have not stood the test of time for political reasons and other things, but when I saw Forrest Gump or when I saw Braveheart or maybe even The Matrix, I walked out speechless. I couldn't talk to anybody for about an hour. And several other films, I just was so stunned by what they had done. And that's the gift of movies to me. So when I talk about this stuff, it's a lot of fun. But behind it all is just, I think, a little kid who loved everything about the experience of being taken into somebody else's imagination. So movies are amazing. I hope we keep making them. And if not, I hope TV carries that baton for forever. So just a quick thank you to everybody for hanging out with me today. Amazing. I had so much fun. That was one of the funnest fucking podcasts.